I suppose we should get to the Nuzlocke. We're doing the world's hardest Pokemon Nuzlocke. Pokemon Run and Bun. We're 275, almost 276 hours into it. We have 6 badges. We're about to fight the final trainers in the Aqua Hideout. I'm a little bit sick today. I got the con flu or whatever from going to TwitchCon. All right, let's take a look at this fight. I've been putting it off. If being full HP is bad, can you tank the hidden power and kill with Earthquake? No, so with Delmise, we want to be at full HP. Because if we're on full HP, then we do show a one-shot to everything on their team, except for Wobbuffet, which means Wobbuffet just comes in. We want to bait the Wobbuffet in, because then we can just switch out for free into Toxtricity, Toxic, and just spam Toxic until it's dead. We figured out that Toxic is the base number multiplied. It's not actually 2/16, it's 1/16 times 2, which is different because of rounding. I'm going to write this whole thing out, actually. I could probably do this faster on a spreadsheet now I'm thinking about it. Leftovers. Oh, it has oh my god, it has leftovers too. That's so annoying. What is the sequencing for leftovers, grassy terrain, and toxic? I believe it dies on turn 8. So we can, no matter what happens, we won't run out of toxics. Let me show you why. You guys can double check this and tell me if I'm wrong, but... So the end of the first turn, it should be at 392 because toxic damage activates last. I think we determined it was basically 1/16, and then you multiply that number after it's been rounded. So it takes 26, and then it takes 52, and then it takes 78, and then it takes 104, and then it takes 130. It basically just adds 26 on each time. I believe we figured that out. But that is only 8 toxics, which means we don't need to hold a Lepa Berry. And we could hold a Shed Shell, so we could switch on the last turn for free if we just hold the Shed Shell with Toxtricity. I think we have a line that works. It is not riskless. It is a branching path. The 1 in 1,000 chance to get the Goon would be very tough to steer. Yeah, we'll sacrifice something. All right, so the first thing we need to do is go teach Hurricane to our little thing here. Corn Cob wants to learn Hurricane. Corn Cob already knows 4 moves. Should a move be deleted? Yep. We delete Boom Burst here because it's straight up worse than Hurricane. Pretty much. Kind of. Most of the time. Well, let's just hope it doesn't matter. We're sacking if like a 1 in 2,000 bad luck happens. We are now going into the final grunt of Aqua Hideout. And we have figured out a line that is it's so convoluted, dude, but it's the best thing we could come up with. The line is right here. Look in the center of the screen. We got our team, and we figured out a way to beat Rillaboom and a way to beat Ampharos. But then after Ampharos, it's not a line, it's a tree. All right? Because if we don't get crit, then Obstagoon could come in, something, whatever. We kill an Obstagoon, we kill a Tentacruel. But then, Tentacruel can use Sludge Bomb or it can use Toxic Spikes, so that means it can bring in 2 different Pokemon. And we had to figure out a line for that and a line for that. But then also, if we get crit on when Ampharos uses HP Ice, then another thing can happen. But then also, again, there's a situation where Tentacruel can do the thing where it uses Toxic Spikes or Toxic Spikes or not, and there's a lot. This is the whole plan. This is the whole plan. We've calced it all out. It should be fine. We are taking a couple of big risks. And by big risks, I mean like 1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,000 odds of it going wrong. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Because let's hope it doesn't happen. That's all I'm going to say. A nice plan for random NPC number 8. You got this, big dog? I sure freaking hope so. All right. Aqua Grunt 8. The final Aqua Grunt. So, we are now going to be fighting a Rillaboom. This Rillaboom is gonna set up the grassy terrain. It's gonna grassy surge. The grassy terrain is gonna be here for the whole battle, the entire time, which causes problems and solves others, but it changes the dynamic of the battle. Because now its Grassy Glide has priority. But this Rillaboom sees that I kill it with Hurricane. So it is actually always forced to use Grassy Glide because it always thinks it's about to die. Because I outspeed, so it's always going to use Grassy Glide. The thing is, I only kill 87% of the time with Hurricane. And the other thing is, Hurricane has 80% accuracy, and we just need to hit one. But even if we hit one, it could survive because it has a focus band. It could survive, in fact, until the end of time. So, hopefully, I hit a hurricane here. It uses grassy glide. I hit a hurricane, I kill it, and it's dead. Like 80% of the time that happens. No, less than that, because hurricane 72% of the time it just dies here. If it misses, we do have roost, because again, it's forced to grassy glide. Please just, this is the first risk we're taking, is we need to kill the Rillaboom with a hurricane on Corn Cob. So there's a guaranteed grassy glide. We hit the hurricane. And we kill it. Oh, ha, ha. Okay. That's good. That's great, actually. That's great. One risk down. Now, Ampharos comes out. And Ampharos sees a kill with Hidden Power Ice. Okay. That's good. That's good. So now we can switch into Corn Cob if we need to do some crazy stuff. Now, we're going to switch in P, who's going to take the Hidden Power Ice, and it's going to take it well. Yeah, while we were calculating this line, the one person did just say, why don't you get lucky? You know what? Maybe they were onto something. This is the second risk that we are taking. If we get critical hit on 3 specific turns, there is a chance we need to sacrifice something. So, the first, this turn matters. We need to not get critical hit with this Hidden Power Ice. Okay, no crit. Good. Good. I think there shouldn't be... as long as we calculated every one of those branches of the tree correctly, there shouldn't be any risk now. I think. So now Nori is going to come in on the Ampharos. And ideally... this Hidden Power Ice also doesn't crit because it simplifies my thinking a lot. I need to do a lot less thinking if this Hidden Power Ice does not critical hit. We're holding a zoom lens, so Power Whip always hits. Because I believe Power Whip is 90% accuracy in this, and a zoom lens, we're slower, makes it always hit. And then, also the grassy terrain boosts the power of Power Whip, so it does one shot here. So we want to see no crit from Ampharos to make it just easier on my brain. Okay, that's no crit. Good. So now, I believe because it did not crit, Obstagoon has to come in. Yes, okay. The trouble with this fight, I haven't mentioned it yet, is this trainer has 6 Pokemon, one of them's Wobbuffet. So we're always dancing around a Wobbuffet during this fight. Because if a Wobbuffet comes in at a bad time, we could just have a Pokemon die. Obstagoon sees a kill with Knockoff right now, so it has to use Knockoff. This is the line where we got a no crit. So we're going to switch in Meatloaf, who is burned and been pre-damaged to take a Knockoff. And we're at 127 HP. Which means that where the grassy terrain and the burn counteract each other. That was actually a minimum roll from Knockoff. Fun fact. We're at 127 HP to guarantee that Ludicolo comes in next and thinks it can kill me. I believe. Or no, it's so... Wait. Did I miscalculate? So in the calculation, it auto-burns Obstagoon, and we were calculating with a burned Obstagoon. So now I'm at 127 HP, which means that Ludicolo guaranteed outspeeds and sees a kill with Grassy Glide. I need to calculate a new line mid-fight. I think this is steerable. It is burned. This has to use Facade or Obstruct. I don't know if it can use Obstruct if it's burned. Let me double check. It cannot use Obstruct because it's burned now. It has to use Facade. It has Guts. Delmise will take no damage. I essentially, I think I need to take one more knockoff to guarantee that Tentacruel comes in. Now that it's burned, can we survive a second knockoff? We take 99 from a crit burn knockoff, plus 30, plus 13 damage from the burn. We'll take... Okay. All right. It's close, but I think we're fine. We miscalculated something. Terrain heals first? Really? Yeah, we switch in Nori on a guaranteed, what should be a guaranteed Facade. Yeah, it heals before burns, right. Heal before damage. Okay, we're good. So now... Obstagoon is now guaranteed to use knockoff. So Meatloaf is going to take knockoff to take a little bit more damage. To guarantee Tentacruel comes in. This is scary. Okay. We're good. So we're going to be healed. Then we're going to be burned. And now because of that, Tentacruel guaranteed sees a kill. We need Tentacruel to see a kill, so it switches in. Because if we were on higher HP, then Ludicolo would have come in instead of Tentacruel. And that is bad because it messes up all of our sequencing for killing Tentacruel. Because the way we kill Tentacruel, it's precise. But we steered out of it. Mach Punch should kill as Tentacruel comes in. And Mach Punch, while we're burned, without a black belt, one-shots. Okay. Alright. So we're healed, and then we're hurt. And then Tentacruel comes in. Good. Okay. Now Tentacruel is going to use an attacking move. Sprout needs to switch in on that attacking move. Sprout is poisoned, so it cannot get burned from Scald from Tentacruel. And this is another diverging line, potentially. So we get Scalded. That is the weaker move of the two that it could have used. Get healed by Grassy Terrain. Now we're hurt by Poison. Now this outspeeds me. We need to Synthesis until we're at basically full HP. As it most likely will go for Toxic Spikes. So we are now at basically full HP. We will now be killing the Tentacruel with a Grassy Terrain boosted Woodhammer. It will deal 30% in recoil as we take a probably Sludge Bomb, which will also deal 30%. That should bring in Ludicolo. If it uses Toxic Spikes, I believe Wobbuffet comes in instead. We have planned for this. Does Earthquake not kill? No, it is reduced damage because of Grassy Terrain. So, Woodhammer kills. Good. Sludge Bomb, that simplifies things, I believe. We're pretty low on HP there. I think they high rolled. That's fine. So now, this Ludicolo is going to use a random move, either Waterfall or Grassy Glide. We want to see Grassy Glide. Corncob will switch in on it. Yeah, we're low enough that it could potentially use something that's not Grassy Glide. It could use Waterfall, but that's fine. Wow, we found its Grass Gem. Because we wanted to use its Grass Gem, it used Waterfall. Unfortunate. Also a critical hit. Okay, so now, again, because I outspeed and kill this with Hurricane, it has to use Grassy Glide this turn. Because I outspeed and kill it, it has to use Grassy Glide. And I believe that is fine. We can switch in Pop Rocks on the Grassy Glide. Can't you Roost? We don't need to. And I just don't think there's any reason we need to Roost. The gem isn't used yet. I mean, it is just guaranteed to Grassy Glide every turn because we show kill with Hurricane. We just need it to not use Swords Dance, basically. But I guess, technically, in case we missed a minor detail, 90% no? No, it's 100%. I believe it is 100% to use a priority move. Priority move. I'm going to read it out loud. If the AI is dead to the player mon and slower, all attacking moves with priority get an additional plus 11, which means it is at plus 17 right now, which means it should be guaranteed. And it also sees that I one-shot it, which means it cannot Swords Dance. So Swords Dance is set to -5 or -20 or something, which means it should never use Grassy Glide. The thing is, if I use Roost, then Grassy Glide will deal more damage because I will no longer be a flying type. And Grassy Glide could deal over 50%. Grassy Glide moves first, though, so I will not have lost my flying type yet. So I think I'm going to use Roost here first, just to guarantee that I have a higher HP Corn Cob in case of some insane thing happening. I don't think 90% of square kill and priority move when it's dead over a slow kill. Yeah. Just in case, I'm going to Roost. So it uses its Grassy Glide. This will deal up to a quarter of my HP if it crits. We use up its Grassy, its Grass Gem. And then I believe now it again has to Grassy Glide because I outspeed and see a kill with Hurricane. The funny thing is I actually only do 12% of the time. So we're just not going to stay in. And instead, we will be switching in Toxtricity. Toxtricity will get rid of the toxic spikes, which have been placed down, and it will take a Grassy Glide pretty well. Does Hurricane kill without a flying type? That's not how Roost works. Nice try, though. So yeah, we're going to switch in Pop Rocks now to take a Grassy Glide. We absorb the toxic spikes. We take a minimal amount. It's quite a lot, actually, but who cares? And now Ludicolo, in all of its genius, will either use Zen Headbutt or Swords Dance, which is a little bit scary. Swords Dance, doubling its, its stuff. But if our math is correct here, we can switch in P, who shouldn't be taking a Grassy Glide because we no longer outspeed and kill. It's going to Zen Headbutt or Swords Dance. There's a Zen Headbutt. Even if it crits, it does not kill. Good. And now, because my beautiful little P is in, we use First Impression. And First Impression should out-prioritize the Grassy Glide's priority, because Grassy Glide is +1 priority, whereas First Impression is +2. So it should go first. There we go. And now the final Pokemon comes in. That Pokemon is Wobbuffet. And Wobbuffet has Shadow Tag, so we are stuck. But we're not, because we have the Shed Shell. This Wobbuffet has no attacking moves. It has Encore, Destiny Bond, Mirror Coat, and Counter. It has Leftovers, and it has the Grassy Terrain. But we did all of the calculations, and this Wobbuffet should die after 8 turns of Toxic. So, we just press Toxic, and we wait 8 turns. We just spam Toxic, so we don't deal any direct damage, and it can never affect us in any meaningful way. We can no longer switch We are locked in currently. So we're just going to sit here and spam Toxic. Destiny Bond only activates if you hit it with a move. So that's 2 turns. On the 8th turn, it should die. Three. By grassy terrain, healed by leftovers, hurt by poison. That's 4 turns. All right, that was our 5th Toxic. This is our 6th. All right. Wait, does it die this turn on Toxic 7? Maybe I miscalculated. I thought it was Toxic 8, but it might die on Toxic 7. Finally uses Encore. No, I have to use Toxic. No, wait, it lives on 2. On this turn, it survives on 2 HP, I believe. According to my calculations. My calculations were wrong. Alright, that is the last grunt. There is only Matt left. We're almost done the 3rd dungeon of this split. We've done Mount Pyre. Sorry, we've done Mount Pyre. We've done Magma Hideout. We're gonna do Aqua Hideout. Then we're gonna do the route to Tate and Liza, and then Tate and Liza's gym, man. Insane. Alright, let's take a look at what we are fighting next. A Mamoswine with a Focus Sash. Stealth Rock, of course. A Dracovish with a Choice Scarf, Strong Jaw, and Just Vicious Rend. A Dragapult with a Dragon Gem. A Kartana. Beast Boost Life Orb. A Raikou with a Water Gem. Why does it have Scald? Is that allowed? And a Mega Gyarados. No 8 makes this fight brutal. Yeah, we might just have to take the resources. Take the loss, lose Draco Meteor. We do have a riskless line. That's the thing. We do have just a riskless line. It's just we need to level up Torkoal. So Protect Mon. We need to get rid of Draco Meteor on Flygon for Fire Blast, a move we're never going to use. It does open up a flex slot. We need to get rid of Flamethrower on Noivern, and we need to either scale Speed / Candy. And that's what we're investing. Like, we have a line, but it takes 3 resources, and some of them are 4 resources, and some of them are pretty brutal. Yeah, I think Flygon has gotten Tailwind, it's gotten Earth Power, and potentially now Fire Blast. We do have faster Draco droppers, yeah. It's just Draco Meteor has been kind of nice, especially with the high special attack stat. Anyways, we'll figure it out next time. If we can't figure out a solution, we'll do the riskless line. And it's not even riskless.